Welcome to Becoming Stella O. I am your host, Stella O. And today, we're going to be talking about culture. Yep, culture. You know, this topic is it's very interesting. I have fun with it, but then at the same time, I'm like, really? So just to give a little background of who I am, I was born in Kenya. So I am a true Kenyan, okay? But I migrated here in the mid-90s, and, I am Texan too. So it's like I have the best of both worlds. The culture of being a Texan girl, a Southern girl, I love it. But then at the same time, I still have that cultural background and roots of where I'm from in Kenya. So I have my moments where I am making decisions on one end, like I am from here for the South, and then also like I'm back home. It's pretty interesting. But guess what? We're going to be talking about cultural background just in general. So now, have you ever stopped to think about, just for yourself, how cultural background might be shaping your own reality more than you realize? It's a fascinating topic. I shared a little bit about me, but we're going to be diving into that just to see, does your cultural background really affect? Does it play a part on how you do move and how you make decisions? So culture plays a significant role in shaping our own beliefs, behavior, and ultimately our own reality. Ouch. That's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on where you're at in the spectrum. And when it comes to manifesting our own desires, understanding how culture influences us is such a key. That's when the law of attraction comes into play as a powerful tool of manifestation. So I used to hear this word manifestation. What exactly does that mean to you? I need to manifest this. I need to go ahead and manifest that. I need to go ahead and manifest this. Like, words are super powerful. I used to hear that and, read a book or hear from different people. But as you get older, I've realized that some things are just not taught, they're lived. And manifestation is one of those things. As time keeps going, because you lose time, you don't gain time. You're always losing time. Manifestation happens and it becomes your reality. But here's the challenge. There can be often a disconnect between a cultural programming and our desires to manifest a different reality. Our ingrained beliefs and society norms and clash in our own aspirations. We aspire to have a lot of things or believe that we should be in a certain place in life. And also, when I say ingrained beliefs, meaning maybe how you were raised, what you were surrounded by, the things that you ultimately just believe without even having proof, because these are the things that you only know. And then you have the society norms and also the things that can clash in our own aspirations. For me, I'm a big person who aspires to do many things. My aspirations scare me. And I love it because I don't want to do anything that is normal. So making it makes it challenging to actually to attract what we truly want in our lives. And that is essentially knowing who you are. What do you aspire to be, aspire to do, aspire your legacy to be like? I don't know. But Are those things challenging? Are they challenging for you to attract yourself to that particular direction? So just take a moment and just think about how your own cultural beliefs impact your thoughts, emotions, and actions. I feel like your thoughts are the beginning of anything that is going to move forward in momentum or stop. Because whatever you think is whatever you do. And whatever you think is how you feel, your emotions. And whatever you think and however you feel is what you do, your actions. It may not play exactly like that, but it is always a thought that comes first before you have anything that emotionally or actions. Like if you're sad, something has to impact you in your thoughts to make you feel that type of way. Or if you're happy, what impacted you? What thoughts went through your mind that brought a smile to your face? And that peace, that calmness. And it does impact you in your actions, in your physical sense. You can look at someone and see that that person is sad or is not as happy, or they're not as jovial as they used to be, or this person has a bliss about them. The sweet thing is when a lady or somebody is in love, they may not even talk about it, but something is happening in their lives. You can see it. You can actually see it. It's very interesting how we are created and how things can be able to manifest out of just a thought and emotion and physicality. So, these beliefs can unknowingly hold us back, and also they can also manifest our true desires. Our desires, I used to hear this word, what's your desire? I don't know if it was a movie or what's your desire? And I'm like, my desire, I don't even know what my desire is. But I believe when you start really truly believing in yourself and knowing what you like and what you don't like, that's when you really start digging and pulling out your desires. Your desires come out. Then you're like, oh, okay, that's what I desire to do. This is what I desire to do. It just seemed like it was like a genie in the bottle. Why are you asking me what are my desires? I don't feel like that's even important, but they are important. And for me, it takes time. It takes growth. It takes wisdom, and also you getting older and you losing time. Now, here comes the key insight. By acknowledging and understanding our cultural influences, we can actually enhance our manifestation abilities by the law of attraction. I think there's a book called The Law of Attraction, or a movie. There's a book. I'm like in my reading phase, but it's all about aligning our own beliefs with our desires and breaking free from any cultural conditions that may be hindering our progress. For me, my background, I'm Kenyan. Kenya is in Africa. Kenya is a country that is in the continent of Africa. And as an African woman, African child as well, we have a lot of cultural beliefs that I personally don't stand by. I respect it. I do not live my life in totality on it. But some cultural beliefs do hinder you from moving forward. Some cultural beliefs work in a certain time or in a certain setting. I'm in Texas. Those cultural beliefs will not work in where I'm at right now, geographically speaking. But it is also a choice. There are people who truly believe in their cultural background, and sometimes it can hinder you. Now, not all cultural beliefs and background and things that you essentially brought up in are a hindrance. Sometimes they are a step forward to make you actually open up doors. And I believe it depends on the situation, the time, the person. There are a lot of elements to it, and just you using your best judgment. I do use a lot of my cultural beliefs depending on the situation that can actually help me look at things with a different lens and have more of a different understanding in a positive way. So it can be something that hinders you, and it can be something that also that helps you open up doors. Now, me, on the other hand, as when I travel back to Kenya, there are cultural beliefs here that we do here, that I do here, that does not apply there. So I will not bring my beliefs that I have here, the Western way, the Southern way, and it will just hinder me to get things done. An example, the cultural, how can I put it? They're just things that you're just essentially there are just different. Communication, or let's just say customer service, is a good one. Customer service is completely different in Kenya than here. Over here in America, we have time. When you go to the bank, right? This is a good example. When you go to the bank, you expect to get a certain service at the bank, and you're in line, you get what you need, and you're done. In Kenya, it's not like that. You may go to the bank and you may just make a withdrawal or deposit or just write a check, and you may have to come back the next day to do something else just for that one transaction. So patience, having more patience, is a cultural standard that you need in Kenya. Not saying that as a Texan, we don't have more patience. It's just a different type of, it's a different setting. It's a different way of how they do things. Here, when you come in, you go do what you need to do, you come out, and that's it, you're done. There's no need to come back. It's just a deposit or withdrawal. In Kenya, you don't know what you're gonna get. You have no idea if that transaction is going to happen that day, tomorrow, or the next day. So it's just different. So in conclusion, we just have to be aware of the cultural conditions and empower us to just be successful. When we align our beliefs, our desires, and the law of attractions, even more in creating the reality we truly want. At the end of the day, we just have to look at where we're at. Does your cultural background, or does the culture that you have been raised in, hey, you may not even know, like, oh, I've been in Texas. I'm born in Texas. And you don't even realize that your background here affects you in your decision making. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about maybe you're in Europe, you're a European? Have you thought about the way you think, the way you process things, how you raise your family, school, your background, education, the type of living that you have? You're a very simple person, you're a more eccentric person, simple living. You can be in a 1-bedroom, or do you need to be in a mansion? Things that we make, even in our purchasing, it's because of our culture, our cultural beliefs, our what environment we were raised in, what influences us, the society. What are we watching? What TV? Do you read the newspaper every day? I mean, do you read books? That all impacts us. But at the end of the day, culture is such a beautiful thing. It has so many different elements, the palette is so wide, and we can all learn from each other. Just like what I was explaining to you about the banking situation. When I go to Kenya, I have to practice my patience. That's when I realized, oh, geez, I don't really have that much patience. And it's tested when I'm there because things are more of a slower pace. That's the word. It's a slower pace culture. They don't move at a fast pace. Just like here in America, the South, it has a steady pace. But when you go to New York is so fast. Things are done chop, 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 really, really fast. People are always on the move in New York. And if you're from the South, you're like, wow, people move out the way. You're moving too slow. From driving the subway, from even going in the store, people are always on the go. California also has a very different flow. They move a little bit different as well over there. It's not fast paced as New York, but it's a different type of pace. It's an interesting pace. Let me put it like that, an interesting pace. But I hope you all enjoyed this discussion that we had about culture. Until next time, make sure you subscribe, comment, and hit the notification button. And let me know what other topics you want to discuss. I found this was very interesting. Excuse me for stumbling over my words. But hey, this is just raw, uncut. Until next time.